Hi everyone. So what I'm going to cover today is something that I think is quite important to be familiar with, and that is known as set notation. So we've already touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to sort of formalize it in this video, as well as introduce a few other key symbols that you should all be familiar with. So you might already be familiar with the N operator. N of A. And we'll put the set in blue. Actually, I'll put the set in green. So in this case, A is basically the set. So that's, for example, if I said, what's the chance of rolling a even number in a six-sided die, A would be the even numbers. So that'd be 2, 4, 6. So that's the set. N is basically saying number of terms or elements in set A. For example, if I said A was this set and that just had a bunch of terms, let's just say it was 1, 2, 5, 23, minus 10, 16, then N of A will be the number of terms in this set. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, sorry. So let's count them. So N of A is the number of terms in A. So let's count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 terms. That's N of A. Now what we can do is similarly, U is the sample space, as we have covered before. Now let's say we had sets A and set B. What this symbol means is A union B, or everything that is in A or in B. A or B. So by or, that means it can be in either or it can be both. It doesn't matter too much. So for example, let's go through an example of that. If I said A was just numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and B was numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. A union B, U for union, that's how I try to remember it, means everything that's in A or in B. So we just list out everything that comes up in A, first of all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we list those all out. And then we list out everything extra that's in B. So we've already listed out 2, so we can leave that out. We've listed out 4, we can leave that out. 6, we've already listed. Now, the new ones are 8, 10, 12. So we're just listing everything that's in at least one of them. It can be in both, but at least one. And if we put this in terms of a Venn diagram, which I'll be covering in a bit more depth in my next video, but let's say this is our Venn diagram. This is set A, this is set B. A union B is basically everything that is in both circles, basically. That's pretty much it. Now what we can also have is the intersection. Now that looks a bit like an N, so N for intersection, that's how I remember it, which is basically everything that's in A and B. So that's a bit different to A or B. When we did or, that was basically, didn't have to be in both, it could be in one or the other or both. Doesn't matter too much. Here, it has to be in both A and B. So let's do an example for that. If I said A is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and B was 3, 6, 9, 12, A intersection B will only be the things that are in A and also in B. So we take a look. Is 2's in A? Is it in B? No, it's not. So we don't include it. 4, is that in B? No, it's not. So we don't include it. 6, is that in B? Yes, it is. So we are going to include that one. Then we check the rest of them. 8, is that in B? No, it's not. 10, is it in B? No, it's not. So 6 is the only thing that is in both A and B. And if we drew that in a Venn diagram, where, let's say, everything in A would be here in this circle, everything in B is in this circle, A and B will be everything in the middle, right here. That's the intersection. The stuff that happens to be in the A circle and also in the B circle. That's that little intersecting part right in the middle. Now, another thing is that you need to be familiar with is this. And that basically says everything that is not in A, pretty much, but also in the sample space. So if we drew that as a Venn diagram, this circle is A, this circle is B. Everything not in A will be everything not in this circle here. So that's going to be basically everything outside of that circle. So all around here, all around there, everything that does not include this circle here. So for this one though, we need to have the sample space. So let's say the U is equal to, example, all factors of 24. So let's list out all the factors of 24. So U is going to be 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6. Those are all the terms in U. Now if I'm going to say A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Complement of A, everything that is not in A, so A apostrophe, that's just going to be everything that is in U but is not in A. So we look at this. I made a mistake with A, sorry. Okay. And let's say, so cut that out. Okay. So let's say that A is a set of 2, 4, 6, and 8. That's a bit of a dodgy. Okay, so the complement of A, or A apostrophe, or basically everything that is not in A, will be everything that's in here that is not in here. So what we can do is let's just go through all of U and eliminate the stuff that also is in A. So we take a look. We can eliminate 2 is in A, so we can eliminate it here. 4 is in A, so we can eliminate it from the sample space. 6 is in A, so we eliminate that. And 8 we eliminate. So all we have left is 1, 24, 12, 3. 1, 24, 12, and 3. And there we go. That's pretty much, I think, all the main terms I need to know. I think you all need to know. And a few things we also should be familiar with. By this logic, if this over here is everything that's not in A, everything not in A plus everything inside A would equal the sample space, because that would include everything. If we're including everything that's not in A plus everything that is A, that will total to be everything. So that's just an important formula to know. A plus not A is always going to equal the universal set. Just take note of that. That's one important formula to know. Another one that is important to recognize is that the intersection between A and not A is going to be nothing. There's nothing that's going to be both in A and not in A at the exact same time. So that will equal this thing here. And this over here is known as the empty set. So it's basically a set that has nothing. It's basically the set version of 0. So put simply, it's just a set with absolutely nothing inside it. Now, instead of a plus, I'm going to change that. So that will be like A or not A. That's pretty much the main thing I should say there. But yeah, pretty much everything term that is in A and not in A. Oh, shoot. Okay. I'm going to change that. Sorry. I'm going to rephrase all that because that is trash. I shouldn't have used a plus. Okay. So now if we think about it like this region outside of that A circle is not A, or the complement of A. So everything that is in the complement of A or in A would total to the entire sample space. So that's just an important formula to note. A union of not A is going to always equal the sample space. It's going to be everything, because if I include everything that's not in A and then also include everything that is in A, that's going to total to everything. So that's just an important thing to note. And another one is the intersection between A and not A. Well, if we think about it, we can't have a thing that is both in A and not in A at the same time. So the intersection is going to equal this. Now this over here is known as the empty set, which basically is like the set version of 0. So it's a set with absolutely nothing inside it. So it means there's nothing that can both be in A and not in A at the exact same time. So let's get into some questions that kind of use this logic. If I said that A is equal to all the factors of 24 and B is all factors of 36, and I first of all asked for A intersection B, I think the best thing to do is to list out the terms. So if we write this out, I'm going to bump this a bit down lower. A is going to equal all the factors of 24. So if we list them out, we have 1, 24, 2, 12, 3, 8, 4, 6. So those are all the numbers in A. Now the numbers in B, we go into B. All the factors of 36, which is 1, 36, 2, 18, 3, 12, 4, 9, and 6. So A intersection B will be everything that is in A and in B. So and for intersection, that's how I can remember it. So 1 is in both, so we include that. Let's see, 24 is not in both, so we don't include that. 2 is in both, we include that. 3 is in both, we include that. 12 is in both, we include that. 4 is in both, we include that. And 6 is in both, so we include that. The rest of them, there is no intersection. If we take a look, 24, nope, not in both. Do we include 12? Yep. 3. Okay, 8, not in both, don't include. Okay, so pretty much that's it. Now, similarly, if I said n of A, B, so this is different. This n is like on the outside. This is not really meant to be like an n, it's just meant to be like a round circle, like half circle, going down like that. But, so I'm going to draw like a more obvious n to distinguish those two. But this is basically saying, what's the number of terms in this set? So we basically just look at the set. This is the set of A and B. So the number of terms in that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 terms inside there. Now if I asked for, okay, what I'm going to say is as well, the universal set, the sample space. So I'm going to bump this up a bit higher. The universal set is all numbers from 1 to 36. So if I said now, what is the number of terms that is not in A? We can take a look at how many terms are in A. We can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if we think about it, there are 36 terms in the universal set, or the sample space. So if there are 36 terms in the sample space, and there are 8 in A, the amount of terms that is not going to be in A is just going to be 36 minus the 8 terms here. So the number of terms not in A, which is going to be the number of terms, the universal set, minus the number of terms in A, which is 36 minus 8, which is going to be 28, I believe? 28. And there you go. So, let's see if there's anything else I want to ask you before I move on. I think that's pretty much what I want to ask. Anything else? Yeah, no, I'm happy with that. Okay, so that concludes my coverage of set notation. In my next video, I'm going to be looking a little bit more at Venn diagrams. So these little diagrams I've drawn here as illustrations, I'm going to be going in a bit more depth about what they mean and how we can solve certain things using them. So see you all then. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I just wanted you to do one thing. I wanted to add in just one more like part of set notation, just because I think it's kind of important. This is just a message to the editors, but it's not for the video. I wanted to add in one extra part, but I want you to sort of edit it in. So I have just finished doing these formulas here. I hadn't, just before I've done the question, I want you to cut this little section in, because I just want to go through one quick formula that I think is important. Okay, so here's your little pause. And there's one more formula I actually want to go through, and that is the conditional probability. So if I said that I had A, vertical line, and then B, that is basically saying A given B. And to sort of demonstrate that, I'm going to sort of show in a Venn diagram. Do not get too bogged down in this formula just yet. I'm not going to go through examples for it yet, because I'm going to dedicate a future video for it. But at the moment, just so you're familiar with this notation, it's meant to be just a vertical line, so a bit like this. If I had a Venn diagram with A and B, what this is saying is given B. So we know that B happens already. So if B's already happened, we know we are just looking at inside here. And then A, we want to look at the probability of A happening. Or so if we're looking at, in this case, in the terms of probability, it's the probability of A given B. So I'm going to also write that as probability of A given B. So what that means is we know B happens, but we want to find the probability that A happens given that we know this we are operating inside that circle. So if we call this region, like let's say that's like X and that's Y, the probability that A will happen, given that B already happens, we know B will be the regions X and Y summed up. So we know that's going to equal probability of A, given B happens, the probability of A within that circle is just X. So X over the overall probability of B happening, which is X plus Y. So that is something I do not want you to get too hung up on just yet. Do not stress about this too much yet. This is just a very, very brief introduction. So this is just to introduce the formula in a neat section with all my other sort of notations. Do not worry about it too much. I'm going to be covering that in a future video. So yeah. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go through a question which goes through the other things we have already covered. So